Hello, everybody. Waiting for my headset to turn on for me. Sorry about the little delay. So we have Cindy in the house today. So woohoo! No more back of the head shots. That'll be cool. And what else? So what we've got going on today is I've got the old apple of my yard up for another tango. Since we looked at Janny's this morning. And Jenny, if you didn't see it, I did do that. The first live stream kicked me off, but it kept streaming. So I started another streaming, think the stream was dead, but you guys were still going, and I was going on another track. So that's what happened. So there's a couple of videos. We'll try to link them up so they're the same, but they're just part A and part B. So today, what's happening today? Anything? Well, I've got her oiled out. And so we're gonna turn. Why don't we put the painting up, baby? Let's see that. Oops, whose bill is that? Get that duck out of the way. There we go. What's that? I wouldn't because it's gonna zoom in everything else. We can, but there we are. So we're oiled out and ready to go. So we're gonna get to the palette. You want to show them the glass? Just fresh laid out, full glass palette. We got a couple angles on that. Whoa, look at that. Man, if that's not fancy, I don't know what is. Fancy Pants Meyer, here we are. So, let's get to it. Let us get to it.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If you are new to our channel, we are excited to have you. If you have been with us for a while, always welcome back. We love having you here. Thanks for taking the time to join us during Jason's studio time today. If you have not already, subscribe to our channel. The bottom right corner of your screen, you see that little red box? Hit that and subscribe to our channel and give our video a thumbs up. That helps us. So we thank you ahead of time. Hello, Miss Susan. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you're having a good one so far. And if you guys are here, we love comments. Let us know you're here. Ask questions, all kinds of stuff. Jason's going to be painting. I'm sure he's going to be, talking as he goes. But in the meantime, too, I can help field questions and get them to him as he is painting.
What is that? Oh, who am I wearing? Oh, this is a Kirkland from Costco that you'll see today. So, yep, we're here for all your questions. No need to keep them inside. All right, so I'm gonna basically just start with my dark and go in here. I don't know how talkative I'll be. If you guys have questions, be sure to ask. But I don't know. I'm hoping I can get into painting mode. I hope I get into painting mode and
Susan said she's been painting.
Cindy
Yay!
can focus into talking mode.
We
Yeah.
love hearing that. And yay, yes, Jenny, we are up and running. We just got your message, but it was just before we were about to go live, so we will definitely get back to you later.
Hey, Jenny. Hey, Susan. Susan, are you working on your dogs? And how's that? Is it looking better opening those guys up, or have you had a chance to work on them yet? Um, what I'm doing here is I'm going to mix up my dark, and then I'm going to get some umber, which will step right out of that. And then we're going to walk from there up to that apple. Almost, I think, Jenny, I don't know if you caught the second stream, but there's two streams today, a part A and a part B, obviously. And when I got to yours, I talked about, hey, baby, I'm up here. I talked about this being too clear. Mine on the table might be. Up here, I feel okay about it. But again, I'm going to be working on all that. And I hardly ever get it. I think you were reading some of this as a bright yellow. And that takes time. Some of these colors that read a certain way in the right context that are actually not very bright. And then it's a question of how much of that color there is there. So I need just to get a little bit up on the canvas to see where everything is. And you never want to protect your painting. You never want to be protecting your painting. What I mean by that is if you're in a protective mode, that's different than being in a creative mode, right? And those kinds of marks and those activities read differently to the viewer.
Susan answered. She said, I worked on both of my dog paintings. The portrait looks better. The jury is out on the dogs in the park.
All right, all right. Well, you know, maybe you just, if the dogs in the park has to be worked out with some problems here, and then maybe start with enthusiasm again, who knows? And you never know. Sometimes things go through stages that I've hated and they come out to be my favorite paintings, so be patient. So this is just pure black here. And I don't know if I want pure black. Do I want pure black? I don't get my head. What's wrong with my head? Here, let me move my seat. No, that's all good. That's all good. Need to check myself before I wreck myself.
Are you throwing down? Oh, good, Jenny. Yeah, you check out Part B later. I'll send both of the links in an email so you have them both to reference.
Yeah, and part of the whole reason I wanted to do this month, kind of as crazy as I'm doing it, is to force these issues up. Undoubtedly, there was going to be numerous issues, and I wanted to find some and solve it. Move on. So I'm hoping within the next few weeks we have a new light in here, which should seriously change some things. And if it doesn't, it's returnable. So we're good. We are good. I don't know that I want the black down in this corner, but I don't know that I want this much activity either. So we'll see. And now with a little less black on my thing, look how I can kind of use this as a walking off of that solid black. And so what that does is it creates a softer transition or walk from whatever the black is around to it, so it doesn't become so hard edged. And because of all those other layers underneath, right, it's like I can just darken them a little bit with almost a glaze at this point. But to me, that black note now is much more interesting. Okay, can you see that black clearly, sweetie? Okay.
Can you guys see that black clearly? I can see it.
I can't, I have to look into the lights when I look at the screen. So
Oh, yeah. No, I
hard
can
for me
see
to
it.
make out. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Am I leaning into the frame?
Yes.
All right, well, be patient. I'm getting warmed up. I may be jumping up off my seat here in a minute.
Oh,
and
my.
Then I'll take my fencing stance and you'll be free of my shoulders and possibly my head. Your dreams will come, sweetie.
Susan has a question.
Sure.
Why do my paintings often look chalky as a gray off my colors? It's not just lighter, it's duller.
I mean, the simple answer is it's really a matter of degree. Like to me, I don't know if you can see this part of the painting here. At this point, it looks a little chalky. And again, how I think of chalky, and there's many reasons for it. If you saw today's uh, what was it, morning feedback, as I evened out those shadows, you saw that light got stronger. It's the same thing. If you'll even that out, a lot of times color comes back instantly. Or if it's a value thing, I think what happens is we're writing a value between white and color and not strong enough one way or the other, right? What we want is make sure that you have a highlight color relationship, and the color to be lit does need a little bit of white in it, but how much is the question? Okay, and then leave room for a clean highlight. Even if that highlight's not white, if it was like a really high yellow or something, not quite white, then the yellow and light needs to be dark enough that that yellow highlight would sit on it. See, if does that help at all? And again, it's kind of a bunch of little things usually, but hopefully those two things will lead you in the right direction. All right, so this is, I like this, what I have on here, because this is a nice, it's coming off as a gray. I don't know how in the heck it got gray, but oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm, uh, I not hope it doesn't come off condescending or anything, but I really am so proud of you. You have just worked consistently and then took these ideas and swallowed them. And I understand what you said this morning about sometimes it seems like you get more confused. I think that's part of the growth process. And again, when the confusion comes, it's again, we're trying to find that harmony with all of these things happening. If you're just talking about value or just talking about texture, oh yeah, A to B. But that's why I use the words more and less, because it's so many things, and the important thing is it just that it reads like it's less. It reads like it's further away. There's more atmosphere, right? Or it reads like it's more. All right, where are we at? What are we doing? Let's see, we got some hard edges here. I feel like today shouldn't be a hard edge kind of day. All right, we had a new update on the Mac, a big Sur, not the great big one, but an update to the first changeover. And I always feel like when the updates come out, that's like the full moon for technology. Things get weird.
Cross your fingers.
Things get weird. From what I've heard, hospitals are not where you want to be on full moons.
Susan said, "Well, I'm not going to stop. I will just keep trying. Thanks for the encouragement."
Yeah, no, 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 no. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going for sure. Keep going for sure. But if you put kind of like this energy into it and stuff for a while, you can get these big leaps, and then sometimes things slow down for a little while. But for me, always these big leaps carried me through some of the slower, right? I mean, sometimes it feels like, man, going backwards. What happened? I could paint yesterday. I could paint yesterday. Jeez.
I think that's life sometimes.
Yeah, well, and like Barbara had asked something before, and my explanation was, some days I get up and I'm a freaking genius. And some days I get up and I can't manage to put my socks on. And of course, it's an exaggeration in both ways, but I think we all have that naturally.
I laugh because it's so true.
And it seems like with painting, it can be a bit exaggerated. I mean, you can just feel like, man, all right, I get how the old masters did this. Boom, here we go, buddy. And man, one sleep later, what? What happened? What happened? All right, let's keep moving along because there is a drying time to all this. Part of what I want to do is, oh yeah, my head. I know as I go across,
I
you
know it's
might see a
harder
little
because
bit
you
of
got to
that.
reach. We just got your back, not cranky.
Yeah. See, I like a little bit of that shining through before you get to that bit darker. Again, it just makes it more interesting so it's not just a straight boom. And then maybe let's take a little bit of this down. And look how easy it is to take this down now that there's a few layers, right? Literally by almost just glazing over it, it makes it less. By the way, I remember going to one workshop and kind of being exposed to some of this stuff for the first time, real subtlety and in value changes and shifts and everything. And my mind was just blown and I thought I got it. I thought I got it. And it was one of those workshops to where, you don't really get any attention. It's just, here's the information and you can watch me do my thing and, good luck to you. And I think it took me, I'm almost embarrassed to say, but I think it nearly took me nearly a decade, maybe a little bit longer to get what I saw that day into my paintings. It's that was always frustrating with me, but again, I didn't have somebody I could necessarily turn to and study under and ask questions, which made it that I took a lot longer to learn the stuff, but I didn't memorize it. I know it because I discovered it, if that makes sense. Not like discovered it for the first time or anything, but I had to discover it for myself. Sometimes when you have to explore and discover for yourself, you can move around that landscape a little easier than people who've just been to the treasure box. So because I had to do that, I think that's one of the things that um, gives me the confidence today, but also teaching, right? I say this all the time. Part of this month is that you're able to learn from all these other students' paintings. And part of my growth undoubtedly has come from working on so many paintings and student paintings, right? Because even when I'm working on student paintings, my eyes are wide open. And so if I'm telling them this, then I'm watching. Is that really what's happening there? That's the same here. I'm watching, but at this point it's not an intellectual game whatsoever. It really is a game about feeling. Now all that intellectual stuff we've been talking about. All right, I think it's time for me to stand up for a minute. So we're gonna okay.
Oh, thanks, Susan. Susan said, Cindy, it's so nice when you're there to translate and to keep things even more personal. My pleasure.
Translation needed. Izzy's little pod mate. Yesterday, I was saying some things and having some fun, and we were laughing. And he looks up. He goes, I don't know what half those words mean.
He was so cute.
It was hilarious. One thing I've always done with Izzy is use words there's no way she's know what they mean, just to make her try to understand through context and also to expand her vocabulary. Pardon me just a second. I think I will flip this off. The shine of the spotlight. All right. Sorry, I should have muted it. Hope that wasn't too loud.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, good. My refreshments shouldn't make the audience suffer. So again, what I'm thinking about right now is just coming up onto that. The jacket's in the way. All right. But that's part of our sponsorship. I gotta make sure to get that in the
Get the
shot.
jacket in the shot. Maybe we'll get some extra Kirkland vests for the studio. Keep you warm.
They got good socks.
You, what?
They got good socks.
Yeah, they do have good socks. Did you see Izzy's socks today, by the way?
I don't know that I did.
Oh my god, they're hilarious. So, Izzy has a elf. You know the elf on the shelf, fun little dudes. So anyway, her elf's name is Buddy. And Buddy this year brought her 15 days of socks. So it's kind of like an advent calendar, and it's only 15 days instead of the 25. But each day you get a new pair of socks. So today she's wearing them, and they're little elf socks, and they look hilarious with her burgundy van high tops that she's wearing. And she's got these full-on little green, bright green socks with elves on them. And she wears them so proudly.
See, again, it's just a touch sometimes. Just and a breath. A fairy's breath darker. Can I talk about a fairy's breath without being too weird? Probably not, huh? All right, we'll find something else to say.
I was just talking about elves. I think it worked. It was a good transition.
This one came out fairy's breath. I thought, wow, weirded me out.
We won't judge you.
All right. Okay, no, I'm not saying again. Again, it's just, it's these slightest little things because I'm trying to get that table quieter than the leaves and the apple right now. And then I want to go up there and play with the note of the apple. And is it just glare or is that limb look as bad as I think it looks? That look bad? No, it looks kind of bad, huh? All right, so we got to fix that limb. A good looking apple like that can't grow off something looking like that. Jeez. Sacrilege. All right. So now that we've shown the people the beautiful Kirkland attire, I think we'll go on to our next layer of fashion merchandise.
Oh, it's coming back.
Sorry, I get a little warm.
And now you're in the shot. I like it.
Shot. Oh, hey. How you doing? All right, so I feel like that quieted the table down. The shadow just feel like it got too chalky. What's with the chalky? Right, there was a little bit. I think it got too much air in there, and I thought, oh, I'll fix it later. Well, guess what? Now is later. Later is now. So, boom, here we go. Seems like a good size. So let's come back to the palette, and we want to find that red in shadow. Red in shadow. So the brightest red we're going to be able to get, the brightest darkest red, right, is our burnt umber, because our burnt umber is basically a brown or a little bit neutralized red at a lower value. Okay. Kind of want it a little bit darker. Kind of, sort of, kind of. But I also like it red. Oh, 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 oh. But remember, value, 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 value. Okay. So that looks wrong because of the hard edge. So you've got to recognize that and be willing to leave it. I'm just going to flatten this whole thing out, and then I'll come back and put that reflected light in there. But let's just get this a little more solid. And maybe even before we go into the light. So that reflected light literally just be a little cad red into the mixture. And if the light's coming this way, we can think of it almost as a counter force. Soft edges. All right, that feels better. At least until you get to the other edge of that shadow. Woo, what happened there? What happened there? Who's in charge of that mess? So what I'm doing now is almost basically just taking some of it off, which is going to help soften it right there at the edge. Okay. Notice that apple looks a little bit better to me now. And it's because for the size of that light, that was slightly too bright. And that has a lot to do with the color, Susan. And I imagine that's where a large part of your problem, or I shouldn't say your problem, but some of your struggle is what might look like the perfect color on a little bitty swatch there. What happens is once you get it covered on a big swath, it looks too bright. So if you're just putting a little dab on there to see if it works, you almost want that dab to look slightly too dull, because by the time that dab gets larger and flatter, just the nature of paint, it's going to look brighter. And it just takes a little while to get a feel for that. And that's what I mean, that it's not 1, 2, 3, so to speak, but as all these things come together, you get it, you lose it, you get it, you lose it. But you're on the right track. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Okay, so the other thing is I feel like I need a good dark up here in this. So, and if we look at my palette, you can see that I haven't touched my white yet. So what I'm going to try to do is work with all of my colors without white as long as I can, because white's that shift. Okay, so rather than going to the apple in light now, which is going to require me to pull my white out. I'm going to see what else is dark that needs to be shored up, right? And I feel like the answer is there. The answer is there. So is a pure burnt umber enough? For some reason, I don't think that's going to do it. What would happen if we added a touch of blue to that burnt umber? We don't want it to go too cool. But what I would like is a nice dark shadow. Right, that separates off the background. And I know that's too big and I can use the background and cut in to it. But you see how that reads, that dark? It reads, and you know, this looks like a string bean or something. It doesn't look like an apple. Got to, what happened is I had to cut that up. So let's cut this back down. That'll widen that. And the other thing is, let's go ahead and, so that's what I mean is I'm not protecting what I've already done. You see how now I don't haphazardly paint over things, but if I need to fix something, you fix it. You don't be afraid of it, right? You bought this stuff. This is yours, or it was given to you. You own it. Act like it, right? You're the one that's in charge. Don't put me through to the manager. I want you to handle it. Now, this went warm again. Might we need to get cool? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Why are you asking all these questions? See, I'm liking better how that limb stem. Well, I guess the stem's down here. What is that called? Is it a limb?
I think so. Tree limb, branch.
This seems too delicate to be a limb. I was looking for some other word.
Twig.
Well, then I was thinking, what is a twig? I mean, is it something that's fallen off the tree, or is it just something small on the tree or off the tree? I have these questions. I have these questions. Sort of conceptual investigator, I guess, huh? Ooh, can I have a detective name? Izzy'd be so jealous.
Here comes Susan.
What's that?
A twig is a small branch wherever it is.
A small branch wherever it is. All right. You know, I studied philosophy in college, and it was the best and worst thing I've ever done. Unfortunately, I already kind of had that personality, but so I can't really blame it on the major that I didn't even finish, but I don't think it helped. It definitely fed the beast.
Yeah, I was just looking up limb. It's not limb.
Yeah, limb. I don't know, but limb just sounds hardier to me. Yeah. So what is it? Twig? So it's a twig?
Well, limb is a large branch of a tree.
Large. Okay, yeah. But the twig is living or wherever it is. It's just a small branch. Okay. See, even when I go mad with technology, I can still learn interesting things. I guess technology is interesting, but
Twig's definition is a slender, woody shoot growing from a branch or stem
slow
of a
down, slow down,
tree
slow down, slow
or
down.
shrub.
Slow down.
What?
Just restart that over again. What's it called?
A slender, woody shoot.
Stop. A slender, woody shoot. Like, I could just play with that right there for an hour, 45 minutes. Just, yeah, go to the store. I'll be good. A slender, woody shoot. I mean, that just... Is it just me? But literally, my imagination just goes running with that. And then you're reading the rest of the definition, and I feel like, ah, I'm stuffed, and you're still feeding me. Oh, my goodness. All right, I got to think about painting. I'm going to leave the entertainment to you.
I don't know where to go with that one.
Don't know where to go. I dropped you in the middle of nowhere and walked
Yeah.
off. Sorry, babe.
That's all right.
It's all right. You know, I find myself in these spots and I think, wow, how did I get here? I can relate, David Byrne. I can relate. David Byrne, Talking Heads. So this is just to have a slight bit of color in it. And again, flat in there, I think it would be too strong. But just a little bit in there, it just, it takes the brownness out of that color. It's like that brown color could almost be the transition. See, that was a mess up. Was it? Was it? I really want to say yes, but we'll postpone judgment for just a little bit since you're feeling so diplomatic. Okay. And you know, part of this month is to find out what works and what doesn't work. You know, I thought these sessions here would be helpful, maybe only helpful to a handful of people who are kind of ready, but you know, if they are, or you know, if they aren't too, I appreciate hearing and what you like the most. These afternoon shows are kind of the most intensive setup and stuff. So we're thinking we may, well, I'm going to try to see the month of December through, but those may be a little more irregular or just when Cindy could be here. Unless when the new equipment gets here, things simplify a lot, and the whole purpose of the new equipment is to simplify things. So we'll see. Because again, I mean, how much can you take a day? The feedbacks and master paintings. Just saw something I want to change. Since it's mine, I don't have to ask permission. Just do it. Let's see. Yeah, let's let that shadow go like that. Anyway, the morning feedback in the master ZERP is not too big of an ask on me as far as setup and all of that. And my hope is that we can get the studio set up so we can go live and I can do all this stuff without a big deal or record without a big deal. And that's the dream, and that's why we're going. I know you guys think he's nuts. Why does he keep doing that? Yeah, I got a concept. I've got a vision. Man, I want to get into that white, but is it time? Is it time? Is it time?
You just look like a little kid with that body language, like you wanted to dive into a
I
cake or
do.
something.
We all do. We want to get to the fun color. Why you haven't got white? Look at that palette. Hey, look at those big piles of color. What are you doing? Letting the food rot? I'm starving. Let's eat. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient.
Janny said your apple is looking fantastic.
Her apple looked pretty good herself. All right, it might be time for what? I'm trying to decide. Do I want? No. Let's see. Let's see what we want. And let's start with our red, right? Start with the finish. Start with the finish. So we're going to do a little mixing here. I'm going to mute and have a sip of my, well, now lukewarm tea.
Even lukewarm is a delicacy for a mom. Usually all our stuff's cold. Or we forget where we put it if we went to warm it up. I leave my coffee in the microwave all the time.
Yep, I take it out a lot.
Yeah, Jason always opens up the microwave. Oh, here it is. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Do you guys do that?
All right. Yeah, you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Watching. Okay. And again, I don't want to barrel in here. I don't want to barrel in here. Well, you're in the wrong shot. Go wide. Go wide. Keep going.
I'm wide now.
Keep going. All the way. Keep going. That was a fun trick. Okay, now come back.
Haha, you're funny.
Boom, 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 boom. You know what I want to do? I need to find kind of my brightest green up here because I feel like that's what's going to limit my apple. So what is the very brightest green we can get? Getting questions. Yeah, good question. It's worth about 15 answers. All right, so where is this going to take us? What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get a really nice rich green here, and then we'll add some some white, because that'll make it look lit. Lit like it's lighted, not like it's intoxicated. You youngsters, all your intoxication talk. Lighted, lit, light falling on it. The surface is exposed to light. I remember when I jumped down the rabbit hole of light and what it actually looks like. And then I looked at some master paintings that I liked, and then heard about how they talked about how they painted light. And when one of them was talking about the halo, they were like literally talking about like rain, like if it was water droplets hitting the surface and bouncing up. Well, that's a different way of painting light, of thinking about it. And so how is that concept different, and how visually could you express it versus a very soft light from a very gray day? So this is what I've got, and that feels dang cool to me. Like when I set it next to here, hmm. How are we going to rectify that? My dreams of that blue green need to just go out because blue green is just too weak to serve in the role that we need it to serve in this painting. Why not everybody's Marines? Not all that dang strong. We're not all that strong. I'm no Navy SEAL. No, sir. Not me.
Jenny said, well, for this period of shutdown and winter, these are a saving grace. Thanks, Jenny. We love having you guys here. It's fun.
The shows. Yeah. Well, good. And that was part of it too. I thought, you know, we can do things where everybody gets something. Everybody gets something. If you got something you can give, you should. Kind of my talk on it. So now this feels better to me. That feels like it's got a little bit of bite. You see that? It's almost too bright right there as it is. But, oh yeah, Jason, Mr. Fancy Pants, but will a highlight sit on it? Well, why don't you just sit down right here and let's have a look.
Will it? Will it?
Even if we cool that baby off, what if we cooled that baby off? Be cool, be cool. You guys know about the birth of the cool, right?
Know about the what?
Birth of the Cool,
Birth of the Cool. No, please enlighten us.
Miles Davis album.
Oh.
So yeah, that's gonna stand off there just fine. And so Susan, that's what I was talking about when I said make sure that you're light. Now, can I make that green lighter? Yeah, it looks like I've got some room to do it. What would be too light there? Or in your case, you know, you've got these yellow orange dogs. I can't help myself. Real quickly, like is a highlight going to sit on that? Well, if it's pretty flat, it could, but I don't know if you could go much more than that. So what you might have to do then is take a little ochre instead of black, not ochre, excuse me, umber. It's a brown, and darken it and gray it a little bit with the brown, and that will keep it as bright of a color as possible as you go down to the value you need. And then again, if it seems too dull, that was a little bit much. Well, you know, I get carried away sometimes. I get excited and, you know, I know it happens. It happens to all of us. So here we go. Up. Like that. You can almost feel it feels more natural as it gets a little dirty, if you know what I mean. Right? A pure yellow, ochre, and white's just way, way too bright. But this is actually grayed down yellow. And then that's going to sit on it just fine. But again, this may be perfect for here, but if you put it all the way to the tail, it's going to be too much. So wherever, like if you had a really pale green back there in the background, I know I said we went blue, but look how this is a blue-green. Would that be able to act as an air for this? And then that could be like lawn or background for the dogs. And then where would your shadow be?
Susan said you're describing exactly what I was trying today.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And even if you got it, so you know, after you've done a few tries, send it in because I'd like to look at it. Because I wanna, because I wanna. Gets me all excited. All right, let's see. Here we go, here we go. And then if you wanted kind of that brighter yellow, so this is just yellow, ochre, and burnt umber, then that would, you see how that could act as a shadow, no problem. So anyway, let's go back to painting the apple. There's so much I want to say, and there's just not enough time. And So what I was doing is I was getting that green, and now that I've got some, it's a matter of how much do I need on each one. Like, I feel like this is too much out here, right? That white, that's too much. Who does that, Jason? That's just too much, too much. We were here, and you went here. Oh, all right, I'm sorry.
Hey, guess who just joined our party? Hello, Miss Shakti.
Hey, Shakti. I'm glad I didn't guess. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm basically trying to find my brightest green, and this is almost too bright there. Almost too bright. It acts more of a highlight than it does a regular tone. Mm. Yeah, and that should be on the edge, I think. And then as we head in, we got to chill out a little bit, man. That's just too light. Too light. This is some heavy stuff we're talking about. Can't be all ethereal. Weighty. Weighty, weighty, weighty. Okay, so that might be my brightest there. You know, that works, but the question is, why do I want all that over there? And the answer is you don't, or I don't.
Janny said blue-green stumped her too.
Dumped her?
Stumped
Oh,
her.
stumped her. Stumped her. Yeah, it's just a soft color, but again, light value carries. And so it's a question between that and then the separation between the shadow. I wonder how dark we can get and it still look lit. See I like that value, but that dang color's too cold. Too cold. Why don't we just kiss it with some red? Just give it a big old smackaroo.
Don't hurt yourself.
What are you saying? I can't kiss?
You can. That was just like a cartoon sounding kiss.
I'm just enthusiastic about it, that's all.
It was good.
I have a lot of enthusiasm.
It was good. It was good.
All right, so we're going cold. We're going cold. Too cold. But these minor shifts really matter. But you shouldn't be messing with these minor shifts too early. See how I can let that edge not actually be an edge? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, who's getting along with their neighbor now? Who's getting along with their neighbor now? Bringing us cookies, all kinds of stuff. We trim the hedges. They cook us cookies. Mm. So I like that better. And then again, what I might do is come up and then on the edge, let there be a little highlight or something. You see how that even looks too much? But I can come in there. Again, it's the same principle, just like, well, I didn't get to the red apple yet. I didn't get to the red apple yet. But if it's too much, you just take some of it away or soften the edge. See, I can soften that edge by the mark was this way, and then by coming on that mark and knocking it like this, that softens the edge there. I can go long ways too, but that has a little bit of a different effect. So it's not like running along the side of that one edge, and we're not going to get microscope glasses on or anything and look under the microscope at it. But again, you're just going to feel, does that feel too hard? I don't know, I'm still not happy with it. So you know one way we can fix it? Make them look somewhere else. And I'm not kidding. Sometimes that sounds like you're just being a smart ass. But again, if there's weak part of the paintings and stuff, just take them somewhere else. You got a dirty part of the house, you don't let them in that room. Boom, that's simple. All right, you got egg all over the left side of your face because you were eating an egg sandwich and you fell asleep on it. Then you answer the door, showing them the right side. You guys know the tricks. You guys know the tricks. Okay. So what? I have a feeling we're going to want to just send a librarian into that apple. We need to send a very aggressive librarian who just does not tolerate the chit chat. So library, quiet. Shh, 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 shh. So what I'm going to do to this is I'm going to grab a bit of this green. And already it feels like, okay, now that could belong. Those leaves could be on the edge, or grow on the same twig. See what I did there? As the apple.
I got it.
No, not with the paint, with the word twig. I tied it back in. Oh, never mind.
We're with you, dear.
So this is just slightly darker and a little bit grayer, and I'm going to let that be my color. And I'm going to cut back that. Oh, that feels so, oh my goodness. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, that's so nice. All right, so I can think about anything facing this direction would be that color. And then little too much, kind of like that was too much there. Again, we'll just especially try to get that inside edge. Go across it. There we go. So feeling a little boring. Feeling a little bit boring. So we're going to come over here. We've got this friend, CAD Red. Oh my God, do I have stories about CAD Red? The stuff that dude does. So, if you need to shake things up, but be careful. Could be 30 days in jail. I'm telling you,
It sounds scandalous.
it is beyond scandalous. CAD Red. He doesn't have the income to be scandalous. It's just flat illegal. Now that seems a bit too bright. A bit too bright. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some umber and warm it with a little yellow ochre, believe it or not. Yes. Now part of the problem is I got to make sure, see it's barely darker than the red and light, and that'll never do. And what you're seeing right now is the finish. This is how you finish a painting. And yeah, what you mean you waste even more paint when you're yes, because these paint piles that you're after have to be even more exact. I mean, how much out of what I mix up, how much actually ends up on the canvas? So, I mean, it's got to go in the trash. Seeing that edge is a little bit hard. A bit hard. There we go. See, one of the things I've been trying to do is put that shadow up over there, and I don't know that it helps. Every time I put it in, the painting gets uglier. Yeah, but I don't care if it's there. It's making my painting ugly. Taking it out. Taking it out. Blanching the top of that now. Okay. And then will white sit on top of that? Well, before we go white, can we go light blue or purple? You know, just to shake things up a little bit. Shake, 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 shake.
We have a question that was sent in to us
Okay.
from Wendy.
Okay.
And she asked if you can have Jason explain how he composes cast shadow placement. She understands the sphere example, but it's more creative on the canvas.
Yeah, let me get this on there and remind me. So cast shadow. Tell me exactly what the words again in the cast shadow were, or the question.
She said, explain how he composes cast shadows.
Okay.
Placement.
Placement of the cast shadow. Got it. For now, we'll see if I hold on to it. Oh, thoughts are slippery things. They are slippery. Let's see. I have a little fancy umbrella. Where did my fancy? Yeah, it was, and now it's gone. Oh my gosh. No, no, no. It was a special sort of thing that we had. Oh, look. A shish kebab. I don't need no stinking fancy umbrella. I got a shish kebab. I'm moving up. I'm dropping that toothpick fancy umbrella. Dropping it. And now if I can remember what I was doing with that fancy thing. We got some of that up there. Are we just going to do the highlight? We're just going to do the highlight with it. Okay, so as I'm getting this thicker, one of the things I'm doing is I'm working it until there's no variation in the color. Like there is, say, right in here, you see how there's all these variations there? I want this flat. And that will help with chalkiness on the light end, muddiness. Remind me to show you before I finish on my palette, because I can show you at the end when the palette's a mess, how to flatten things out and bring the color back to it. Let's do a highlight, and then let's talk about our cast shadows. You should have been a nun.
Sorry.
I'll give you a ruler.
Well, we want to see the highlight. It's dramatic. And if it's behind your
Now
shoulder.
you got me upset. You startled me.
Sorry.
All
You
right.
got to get the shot.
No, okay, I know. Anything for the shot, you photographers.
It's all for the people. Do it for the
I decided they're not people.
Okay, what are they?
They're our friends.
Okay, do it for our friends. Of course they're our friends.
How much do you need? That feels like enough to me. That feels like enough. All right, let's take another look. What else does this thing need? Is it finished? Is it done? What's the time we got here?
It is 2:38.
It's 2:38. And Wendy, was it Wendy that asked the question about the cast shadows?
Yes.
Okay. So Wendy, I think, is coaching me. She saw that apple's not sitting on that table very well. She said, hint, 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 Jason, why don't you talk about the cast shadows a little bit? You're so nice, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you. One, it's an excellent question. And two, it really is an excellent time on this painting to see it. Basically, if we were to looking at this, if we're looking down on the table, the cast shadow, when you look at it, is going to look bigger and rounder. But if we were lower our eye level till we're almost even with it, those cast shadows become more of almost lines running straight across. But anyway, what I find is it's more descriptive to keep it more kind of linear, saying it's laying flat on the table rather than to describe a big circle because of the shadow shape it leaves and the descriptive value of it. I know a lot of words, as Izzy says. You and your fancy words.
She totally does.
So let us just come in here. Now I don't want this to be cool. Shadows are warm, but that doesn't necessarily mean red. You can have a warm blue, but they're going to be warmer than that same thing in the light. I can decide. But do you see how that table feels more lit now? And like if the harder that edge is, the more light there's going to seem to be. the crisper that edge is. Crisp. Crisp. Crispness is clarity. Um, Now the question is, do I need some white on the I feel like I could get something in between here. This feels like a rough transition to me. I'm a sensitive guy. I got feelings. You know, men have skin too. Men have skin too. All right. So, if that is that, let me just put a dollop because I know it's going to be way too bright. But I just want to know where pure burnt umber is, not burnt umber, yellow ochre. Okay, look how much so that's pure yellow ochre. So yellow ochre is like nuclear waste on this. In other words, it's way too much. So let's take our yellow ochre. Take it down with our umber. And I like that, and there's a slight green feeling to it too. So within all the reds and everything, it'll be a good little. All right. And then if I was to take that and add white to it, uh-oh, here comes the lights. Man, the gaffers are here. The semis are here. All the lighting equipment's about to get plugged in. Do you see how bright that is? Since the edges of these are so awkward, I'm going to send you up to the where they meet on that backside. See if we can't sit out there and talk on the porch for a while. Now, there's no need for me to bring that over here. You know, if you're just thinking like this, you'd be tempted to put that all the way across. But no, there's no need. No need. That felt so. Oh man, finally I can relax. That thing was bugging the heck out of me, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. All right. Again, too much? Yeah. Still too much? Yeah. Still too much? No, not really. Right, so you see, each time I went over it with my brush, what happened? Knocked it down just a little bit. Knocked it down just a little bit. So what was too much to begin with, now on top of this darker stuff and just a little of it, uh, the measure. The measure. See, how are we doing on time, baby?
2:45.
2:45. Oh, we've gone over
So
an
an
hour.
hour and 15.
Hour and 15. An hour 15. That's crazy talk. So that's too light. Right? That's going to be too light for air right there. Do we need lightest air in the background anywhere? Woo, not that light. Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. Wow. That made me forget who I was and what I was doing. That knocked me across the face so hard. Man, I'm gonna hang out with nicer people. That was rough. So what I'm looking for is a grade off purple to act as a step, an edge softener between our dark and our light, and that still feels too light. How is that possible? All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when they meet the in-laws. That didn't go over too well. All right, so dump that guy and let's try again. Glad that relationship's over. That was just not going to work out. Here we go. There we go. All right, so now let's put our red on top of that. All right, because the light goes on top of the dark. All right, any last minute questions? We need to go. I need to work that out. How are we going to work that out? I'm going to work on working that out. You guys work if there's any last minute questions.
Yes, ask some questions. We will get them to Jason.
Did Susan ask something else? I answered Wendy's question, did I?
You answered Wendy's question.
Okay. Did somebody else ask a question that I didn't answer?
No. You've got to the ones they've asked so far. Shakti, do you have any questions you want to throw in? Or Susan or Janny or anybody else?
So I'm going for the top of the thing now. And I'm going to do kind of a purple gray. I don't want it a strong color. And I only wanted enough of a value, again, to bring this off of the background. I don't want it, doesn't need to be anywhere near that.
Shakti said, wow, looking so beautiful.
It's an apple. I was afraid this was going to be my fall. Cindy handed it to me and said, "Why don't you paint this?" I said, "We're not allowed to paint that." He said, "Surely." That's a joke. I think there's a little story that goes something like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, what am I doing? Where am I? What's my name?
There you go. For those of you that popped on after the fact, thanks for joining us. We always like to remind everybody, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do. That helps us, and we would love to have you back following us. Jason does go on YouTube live 3 times a day, 8 a.m. in the morning, called Morning Jumpstart, where he works on students' works and offers feedback. 1:30 is studio time, so you get to peek what Jason's working on, painting, sketches, color mixing, etc. And then in the evenings at 8 p.m., these are all Pacific Standard Time, he does master work. So he takes a look at the master painters. Susan just asked, I'm sorry, Shakti just asked, just wondering about the stem of the leaf, both behind the back leaf and the stem of the front leaf. They seem to have the same arch. It keeps catching my eye.
Read that again. This stem and that stem.
Yeah, just wondering about the stem of the leaf, both behind the back leaf and the stem of the front leaf. They seem to have the same arch. It keeps catching my eye.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not really bothering me, but that's bothering me. And then I think with that shadow ending here and they're ending in the same place, what's going on there? You calling me out, Shakti? You calling me out? Okay, everybody, let's line up in a straight line. Okay, everybody hold the rope. Damn it. Who let the fence builder in? Who let the fence builder in? So, but again, there's nothing here that's not difficult, but it's an opportunity. I think too that's abrupt. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring this a little bit longer, and then I think that'll also help some of this. And then it crosses its own shadow. What is that even possible? MC Escher.
Shakti said, "Who, me? I have a great teacher."
Your eyes too. I'm gonna be sorry I taught any of you guys anything. I'm not kidding. You guys have no idea. You guys are gonna be so good. No straights. No straights. Susan, is a twig small enough that you could just rub it out?
Even though you're not supposed to be doing that with your finger.
Yeah, don't paint with
Don't
your
paint with your
fingers.
fingers. We do not endorse or support that. We don't want you touching that stuff.
I made Izzy take a blood oath before she started working with oils. Yep, cleaning me up and everything. One of my many long lectures to her, as she would say. But she's careful now, and she can clean brushes and stuff without getting the paint all over her hands, and voila. So I took that purple and I put some of that down there. I extended that. I feel like just the smallest little highlight. Maybe that purple. Let's dance. Who wants to dance? Let's dance. Let's see if we can pull this off. This will look cool if I can do it. Both the act of it, which is all just a bonus, but the mark on the canvas. Purple is going to come down. So what if we could get that right there? And see, this is bent this way, so I'm going to have to do that. So my movement on the canvas is I'm going to place this corner right there, and then I'm going to drag a line of it across for a highlight. So it's kind of like, okay, you've got an intention. This is what we're going to do. Bop, 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 bop. And like now all you can do is sit back and watch the workers, see if they do it. And then after it's done, look at it and go, is that what I wanted? Oh, mm. All right, there we go.
You could hear a pin drop. That was tense.
Oh, great. Now you've ruined the moment.
Sorry.
Oh, I was trying to be dramatic. Okay. Did it get too big? Yeah, it got too big. It was only supposed to be 4 or 5 people, Mom, Dad. I don't know how 375 showed up. That's why you always charge a door fee, sweetie. That's why you always charge a door fee.
So was I, Shakti. She's like, I was holding my breath the whole time. I totally was too. I was like, oh God.
I don't mean to make you nervous.
Painting can be stressful.
All right, colored mud and cotton.
Or at least
Don't dirty that cotton.
and I won't even tell you your shoulders in the shot.
Oh.
Because I love you that much.
I bet you were like the best hall monitor in school, weren't you?
I really, if I had the opportunity, I'd been all over that.
That's
But
why
I've
I
done it with a
married her. I
smile.
needed somebody to keep me in order.
I would have sent them on their way with a smile.
Need somebody to keep me in order. Let's see, how's that feeling now? Do I like that? Do you like that? Do we like that? How do we feel? On the inside, how do we feel? No, deeper. Deeper on the inside. Oh, wow. Like I said, this stuff just takes time. But hopefully you're getting something off the pace. The other thing is I'm pretty happy with this, but again, it's just a light. Whereas if I get a step off of there, so I'm picking up some yellow ochreish thing, I'm picking up some purplish thing, and then I'm going to put it in between that light and the dark. To help soften that. I like soft things. I like soft things. They make me feel good. Soft things and warm hugs. And so we're making some joke, but again, what's the problem there? Do we want softer? Do we want it harder, or what? Right? Because if you want more impact, less impact, it's too brutal. Say it with a Hallmark card. Give them $20. Here, maybe you could, well, let's not start that. Let's not start that. All right. That was so fun watching you guys all turn blue last time. Let's do it one more time. What do you say?
God.
Is that good for you guys?
All right.
Okay. So when you go to do this on the edge of your palette knife, paint quality is of the utmost importance. I mean, I can't stress that enough, and it's hard to, you know, basically, I can just say it, and then you get experiment shoulder. I've been working out. What can I say? My shoulders are huge. I have a hard time keeping them out of the way.
Shakti said, I'm scared. We can do this.
So that's what we call in the business too much. So you simply take it off, scratch it out. It ain't no thing. You know, sometimes yellow is just too much. I mean, always in a good mood and sunshine and all of that, but oh my God, sometimes you just need a break. So you call your friend Purple. Hey, Purple, you want to hang out with Yellow and I? Yeah, we're gonna mellow Yellow out. Okay. If the purple's not too light, okay. It ain't easy being. That helped. I feel like I want to get rid of some of that maybe, and then let some of this be a little more. I want to get a little bit in here. And it's so easy to overdo this stuff. So easy. Okay, now what would happen if we took that back? If we took that back. Sorry, this isn't working out for me. I'd like to return it. Like to return it. Like that's so light there too, so we'll just. That feels better. Does that feel a little more natural to you guys?
Yeah, like
See if you can zoom in on the end of that stem there. Yeah, all the way, all the way. Hit it hard. There you go. And then, nope. It's got a little glare there. Anyways, let's see. Hold that right there. Hold it right there. Let's see. How's that looking? A little better? Yeah.
yeah, that's better.
Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see the coming and going with that. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I think today that's where we will leave this. Okay, so this is literally a finish of a painting that I'm bringing to. Will I completely leave it here, or will I work? I don't know. I mean, it is just an apple. Yeah, not too bad apple, but I might be tempted. I mean, if it was my, depending on what it's for, is to, I don't know, maybe turn that music up a little bit. It has spilling over into the neighbor's yard or something, some excitement. I mean, it's gonna kind of depend on my mood. It's gonna kind of depend on my mood. You know what I mean? And look at me. You know what's happening. You know what's happening right now, right? I've lost control of the situation. What's whoa? Oh, you didn't hurt
Resizing
anybody,
the.
did you? You didn't hurt anybody, did
Oh
you?
no, I did not hurt anybody.
Okay. Can't be jerking them around like that.
I'm not. Susan said thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Susan. I really appreciate you being here and asking good questions and painting. It makes all this a bit better. I'm gonna take some of this pink, and I know that's gonna be way too much. I know it, but and this is what I mean by a little sparkle. Okay, so this is way too bright, but look as I just put a dab here and a dab. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but we're gonna leave it.
You know I love me some sparkle.
I like dirt.
And that is why we work. I'll take the sparkle and you can take the dirt.
Ah, yay me. Yay us. I mean, it's just like literally dots, but it's not out nowhere. If it's too much, you just knock it back a little bit. You smoosh it like a bug. You can smoosh it like a bug, but not with your finger. With a gloved finger, maybe, or a palette knife.
Shakti says I just love it. Right? Doesn't that look good?
Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna go. Why don't we come back? I'll take a knee or half a knee, and so this worked out a little better today. It always works out better with Cindy here, and it's hard for me to squat down that far. So like I said, we got lights coming, and then we can reset things up a little bit, and things could get better and better. But I think we got a pretty good thing going, and we're going to build on it. So if there's something that you'd like to see or have questions about in the studio and how I handle that, go ahead and ask me. I may not be able to get to it immediately or even the next day, but I can plan on working on things that will ooh, my goodness, ideas. Um, illustrate those points. And just like I sparkled with white, right? Maybe it's I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like 5 brushes in. I think that's like 5 beers in or something. So I may be talking crazy talk now, but again with a little color, and then what I'm going to do is outside this, and this is going to help bridge, like I was saying earlier. And again, you want to be careful. You don't want to be too haphazard with this stuff.
Get too wild.
Well, it's kind of like my hairstyle. Don't brush it. There's a limit, right?
You got some.
It slowly goes from, oh, look, he's kind of cute. He doesn't care to, does he have a place to sleep?
You have great hair.
It plays many roles. Plays many roles. Okay, and then what I'm doing with some of those things, I'm just basically scratching them up.
He can't, Susan.
I like that.
He just can't.
I like that. What's that?
She says, I love that he can't stop. Nope, cannot. Did you guys seriously see it? He was like on the camera and he looked back at the palette and it was like, oh, squirrel. He's back at it.
Wasn't squirrel, it's inspiration.
Okay, inspiration squirrel.
It's my muse, and she's brutal. She jerks me
I am
around.
not.
Oh.
You asked me to do my job.
I love.
I
You
am
see how she just
doing
jumped in?
my
I'm your muse.
job.
I never said that. Excellent.
I know
I was talking about the muse in my head, but
Oh.
I like you're a much better muse.
Why, thanks, babe.
Okay, so
Okay,
hold on. I'm gonna try to be civilized at the end of this. Okay,
oh, there we go.
perfect. All right, everybody. So make sure to tune in. Any suggestions? Like, subscribe, please share. Try to grow our audience, have more friends. We're working on our online courses. And for those of you that have been with me for the last 6 months, I'm thinking about next year. Let me know if you guys want to continue with how we were doing it. With lessons like this is what we're painting, and we'll take you through lessons a little bit. Or are you guys interested in having more of a little bit like we did this month, where you work on your own thing? I don't know that I'm going to be how do you say it, 5 days a week as much
Yeah.
as we're doing.
That's an
So
intensive
let me
schedule.
know your thoughts on that, where you're at. I know some people are going to probably need the instruction, and some of you are ready to move on. But I'd like just a feel for who's where as we construct our programs for next year. All right, so if you have things you want or you don't want, let us know, and we'll do our best to get everything worked in. All right, until tonight, goodbye from Cindy and I, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.